Hi everyone, and happy Friday. Dixie has decided to join me tonight, so I will be sitting in my bed for our Friday night Devos. Clearly, I am living up the university life, being in bed at 9 o'clock on a Friday, but that's okay. We are totally okay with that. I also just want to mention and acknowledge that today is World Suicide Prevention Day, and I think it's so important that we acknowledge this not only as a church but as a faith community, and acknowledge that there are people all around the world who go through their own struggles, and by saying to them, "Oh, you just need Jesus," it isn't always helpful. So I just wanted to kind of add that in to my conversation with you all tonight, and just acknowledge that it is World Suicide Prevention Day. So today, for this devotional, I will be talking about good news. And, we're going to be talking about the Good News Fridays, and I think it's so important to hear a little bit of good news now and then, because especially now with COVID, we're just hearing so much bad news all the time, and it can be overwhelming. So sometimes it's nice to stop for a minute and hear some good news, hear, some uplifting stories, so we can all use that from time to time. So the scripture that I am going to read today is Luke. Oh, no, that's wrong, I think. It is not Luke. I forgot to edit that. So sorry. It is Isaiah 61, verse 1. And I'll put it up on here because I did add this. All right. So this verse says, "The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, and release from darkness for the prisoners." So this is, again, the NIV version that I have been reading from right now. And I think it's so cool that so many times throughout the gospel we hear about the good news and spreading of the good news, and the gospels literally translates into good news, which is so much fun because, a lot of the time we can see and understand Jesus as the good news in our lives. Dixie's leaving me now, apparently. The good news in our lives. And, for me, it just kind of reminds me that sometimes I need to turn to Jesus, to Christ, to God, when I'm having really bad days, when I'm extra upset, when I'm going through something hard, and just pray and to know that my prayers are being heard. They may not all be answered, but they are all being heard. And that is the wonderful aspect of having, God be the one who looks over all of us, and who promises not to leave us, and who promises to carry us through the hardships. For any of you who follow the NBUC Youth Instagram or have me on my work Facebook, you would have seen the meme that I put out earlier this week about Jesus carrying someone and sometimes having to drag them through the hard times as well. And I don't know about you, but I definitely feel like I have been there. I have been in those hard times where I can see, looking back on my life, that Jesus probably dragged me through those times just to be like, come on, you got this. We're going to make it through, even though I know it's hard. And, sometimes it felt like I was being maybe dragged through mud, other times through rocks, through gravel, through sharp spots, but I got through. And again, that point really ties into the World Suicide Prevention Day, which we're acknowledging today. So I thought all of that was, something very interesting to kind of tie in all together. And I know last week I talked to you guys about some of the good news stuff you can check out online, and one of them obviously was the Good News podcast that we make here at MBUC, and I always encourage you to check them out. There's always new fun ones. I sometimes even go back and listen to old ones again that have really inspired me in one way or another. But through my research, I did find another website, and it's called positive.news. And it is full of so many really interesting, positive, good news stories from all around the world. And there's different categories. So if you're more into science or politics or social science or the environment, like any of those kind of things, they're all on there as well. So there's really something for everyone. So make sure you go and check that out. Make sure you tune into the Good News podcast that we have here at MBUC. And I'm also really excited to say that we are going to be having our first official in-person service this Sunday. So for those of you who haven't met me yet as the new youth ministry lead here at MBUC, I will be there on Sunday. So if you do want to meet me, and don't worry, I'll be online too. You guys will be able to see me, and I'll wave on stage with Jamie. But yeah, for any of you who are close by and are going to be at the church service on 10 a.m. on Sunday, I will be there, and I look forward to meeting so many of you in person for the first time for many of you, and especially working with your youth and meeting some of them for the first time in a long time, or something, maybe the first time ever. So yeah, we are really looking forward to having an in-person service on Sunday, and I look forward to seeing many of you there. All right, well, that is it for my Good News Fridays. Again, next week I'll be doing another good news story from the Bible, where it literally talks about the good news, and I'll be giving you some more websites to check out that are full of good news and happy stories from all around the world. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope all of you have a restful and peaceful Friday, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.